Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Trust me, I'm a pilot. In today's episode of Chat with Aviation Experts, we have Captain Vignesh Mahadevan, who is flying for International Airlines Vietjet. He's the first officer on A320 321. When he is not flying, he loves to perform magic tricks and has two pet snakes. So let's welcome Captain Vignesh Mahadevan. Hi Vignesh, why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers and why did you choose to become a pilot?
Hello everyone, my name is Vignesh Mahadevan. I am a first officer in Vietjet Air. My base is Saigon in Vietnam and my hometown is UP, Varanasi. Why did I choose to become a pilot? Let me start by saying during my high school years, actually, I was intellectually intrigued to understand what makes this 100-ton giant metal tubes to hurl itself up in the air and flying itself across the oceans only to land with precision. I still remember I would endlessly read about different types of jet engines, and the backside of my notebook would be constantly filled with self-stylized spaceships and aeroplanes. One of my favorite quotes during those time was from a book called Peter Pan, which said, "The moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease forever to be able to do it." And this stuck with me. And since then, I've been putting all my efforts towards fulfilling my dream and becoming a pilot.
Tell us about your journey from flight school to a first officer.
Well, before getting to my journey from flight school to first officer, I would like to tell you guys that I am actually a commerce student, which will come out as a surprise and even shock for many of you guys. But yeah, which basically means I don't have maths or physics in my year 12. And as a commerce student, I wasn't good at that either. I still remember I got 33 marks in economics, which is like just 1 mark above the passing marks. But that didn't decide what I wanted from my life. So if any parents are watching, I would like to say that don't bog your kids with the burden of marks. Life is much more than board results. Being a commerce student with no maths and physics in year 12, I joined a flight school in Melbourne, Australia, and they don't require maths and physics as long as your medical and English are at standard level or above. And once I joined, I did my exams. Of course, I had to study very hard because those exams are not easy at all. And maybe that's why in India they ask you to have physics and maths, because it definitely helps. If you have the basic knowledge of physics and math, it definitely helps you to clear all these exams, which unfortunately I didn't have. But yeah, so I had to do twice the hard work to clear all the exams for PPL and CPL, and then I also cleared instrument rating. And once I finished my instrument rating, I did my A320 type rating from Philippines, and I got into Vietjet as a cadet. I completed their line training, and then yeah, I got my 3 stripes.
Why did you choose to work in Vietnam instead of India?
Well, there are a couple of reasons. Most importantly, as I mentioned, I don't have maths and physics in year 12. So if I want to come into India, I have to first give maths and physics exam, year 12 exam, and then convert my Australian CASA license to Indian DGCA. And I didn't have patience for all that. And I didn't specifically choose Vietnam. Vietnam just happened. Um, it was more like Vietnam chose me, because after finishing my instrument rating and my type rating in E320, I was just applying everywhere, and just Vietnam just happened, and I just got a call and I got through. That's it. I didn't choose Vietnam like in particular.
How is your experience as an expat pilot in Vietnam?
Well, I don't think any amount of words will do proper justice to the experience that I have as an expat here in Vietnam. Uh, if you're an expat in any South Asian country, you get to travel to other South Asian countries. You get the well-deserved respect and the attention. It's just beautiful. Like people take autographs, people come for selfies, and you feel like a celebrity. I mean, it's really beautiful moments, and the experience, especially as an expat, is amazing here in Vietnam.
What is the process to become an expat pilot in Vietnam?
Yes, of course. You need to convert your license to Vietnamese license, and you have to do class 1 and 2 medical, along with air law and A320 exams. So,
How is salary packages and other benefits in compared to Indian companies?
well, every airlines has its own salary system, and of course, as an expat, you get more salary compared to a first officer's salary in India. But the real question is, which country are you working for? Which country are you an expat pilot for? For example, if you are flying for I don't know, Japan or Europe, the cost of living is so high. It doesn't matter if your salary is higher than a salary of an FO in India. So you should be looking for higher salary and cheap cost of living, which is what I get in Vietnam. Vietnam, the cost of living is very cheap, and I was able to recover almost 80% of whatever I have spent on my flying training and line training, type rating, etc. within 2 years. So yeah.
Where did you do your type rating from and how was your experience?
Actually, I did my type rating from Philippines in Manila, and the experience was very dreamy when I stepped inside the A320 simulator for the first time. It was just breathtaking, and I was just very excited. Though the training was hard because you have to study a lot. There's a lot of theories. You have to remember everything. You have to multitask. But it was also fun because I enjoyed every bit of it. It was a great time.
How did COVID-19 affected the jobs and opportunities in Vietnam?
Well, I want to say I'm very lucky to be in Vietnam, and I'm very lucky to be in Vietjet, especially during this pandemic times. Of course, I'm not doing any international flights anymore because the borders all over the world is closed. But I'm doing a lot of domestic flights here, and I'm doing about 60 to 70 hours every month since April till date. Vietnam has a population of 97.4 million people, and since the pandemic, there has been zero deaths, only 416 cases, and 365 recovered already. And in Vietnam, everything is open already, and everything is back to normal for past 3 months now, except for the international airport, of course. So I would say Vietnam is a very good option, and yes, there are opportunities. So try your luck. Actually, I used to feel the same when I started. I used to find everything very difficult, and I was never able to cope with multitasking during my line training. But things are different now. I mean, for example, when you were in fifth standard, you used to find all the maths and science and all the subjects very difficult to do. But now, when you look back, you think, what was so difficult in that? Similarly, now I do all the multitasking and all my job with ease. The mantra is to enjoy what you do. That takes the pressure right off. It's like riding a bicycle. There is so much multitasking involved, like focus, balance, keeping the handle straight, keeping the wheel straight, going on a straight road, pedaling at the same time. But as you learn, everything becomes easy for you.
What's the importance and levels of English language proficiency?
You would have probably heard that the ability to speak, understand, and write English is mandatory if you wish to fly internationally, because English is the language for all pilots and air traffic controllers who wish to operate in international aviation environment. The ICAO, or the International Civil Aviation Organization, determines the English language requirement. You may heard of the term called aviation English. This includes the ability to speak, write, and understand in English the aviation metrology, physics, navigation, maps and charts, electronics and avionics, instrumentation, hydraulics, rules of the air and air traffic control, etc., etc., etc. Well, the English language proficiency is created because precise, unambiguous, and accurate communication in English, both in the air and on the ground, is very important for international pilots to do his job safely. Talking about the ELP levels, ICAO require that language skill of pilots and air traffic controllers rated at level 4 are reassessed every 3 years. Level 5 pilots and air traffic controllers for every 6 years, while at level 6 there is no further assessment of English language skills is deemed necessary. And I am holding level 6 ELP for your information.
Thank you, Vignesh, for joining us and guiding our viewers. If you guys have any doubts, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share this video. Thanks for watching.